real, I was caught up in an in-depth conversation, future planning and so on. So I can't tell you exactly what the scorecards were, what it looked like at the fight, because I wasn't fully locked in. But the score's the score, innit? You can't reverse time. What did you make of it? You tell me.
It was close, but yeah, I'm not going to argue with anything. That it was very close.
Was it? Yeah, like the first one?
Yeah.
Would you want to see a trilogy?
I don't know if we need to, but I would definitely watch it. Would you watch it? I would definitely watch it. Do you know what? They're both very elite fighters, because what makes them so unique is that they're so different in terms of their game plans, their strengths, their weaknesses. They're so different, but they gel so well. Do you know what I mean? Because you're expecting one thing from Artur. Bivol's like slick and showing us what boxing IQ looks like. Then you got a rugged, tough, strong man in Artur Beterbiev, and they just gel really well.
What are your thoughts on the fight, champ?
I think it is extremely bullshit. It seems like they warded Bivol off the win for making it to the finish line, because he didn't win that fight. Like, okay, I gave him the first 2 rounds, but y'all will sit here and act like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 that he did what? He did nothing in the middle of the fight. Nothing. He lost all those rounds clearly. And if you really look at 10, you can say round he did all right in the 10, did good in the 11th, and almost got stopped in the 12th. So how do you have him? I just think my personal opinion, I just think they got it out for Artur because he's 40 years old, and Bivol's the younger guy, and he got more of the American style that everybody likes. So I figured they said, you know what, if he gets to the finish line, we give him the victory. But he didn't win the fight. He didn't win. I feel like they gave him that win out of sympathy.
And listen, I was going for Beterbiev, but I think the right man won tonight. Could have been a draw, but I think that Bivol edged it by 1-2 rounds, for sure.
What do you think made the difference?
The accumulating of punches. I think that even though he was fighting on his back foot, he was throwing more combinations, and I think landing a little bit more, a bit better. I think what I would take from Beterbiev, I think what I noticed a bit different was that he was going for the body more than the head. I think he should have kept going that route. I think it would have slowed Bivol down. But hey, I think that we should look forward to a trilogy now.
Yeah, you think a third fight?
I think that'd be awesome. You know, the Trinity trilogy.
Hey bud, what'd you think, man? I saw you dap up Dmitry in the ring. What'd you think of the fight?
Oh man, he did good, man. He won the fight.
Overall, the way he fought, what do you think made the difference tonight, in your opinion?
He was in better shape.
Yeah?
He left it all in the ring. He wanted it more.
Yeah.
Dmitry, I could probably imagine how long you've been thinking about this moment. The redemption, the story, everything that goes with this, the glory. Just tell me now if you could summarize exactly how you're feeling now you are victorious.
You know, I feel so amazing. I feel like I'm good boy. I did well, and I'm so appreciate God that I have such amazing people close to me who helped me all my career. Every person was important. Everybody who was with me on the camp this time, and the fight weekend also. You know, since the beginning, I just told myself I have to work hard from the first till the end. Doesn't matter how he will push me, he will not push me, but I have to work.
Beterbiev versus Bivol was billed as a clash of styles, but no one expected this. From shock reactions to heated debates, reactions are pouring in. Let's see what the pros are saying after this explosive showdown. Before Beterbiev and Bivol stepped into the ring, the boxing world was split. Some backed Beterbiev's raw power, while others believed Bivol's precision would outclass him. Pros weighed in with bold predictions, but did they get it right? Let's find out. Before the fight, Robert Garcia highlighted how public opinion could influence the judges, suggesting that any close rounds might lean toward Bivol.
Look, I think it'll be a great fight. I think if they do have a rematch, especially in Vegas, if we see the same fight again, I think this time it will go to Bivol. Just the way the judges are seeing. You see, the judges are also human beings. The judges are also hearing, reading, everything. You know, a lot of boxing people thinking Bivol won, so they hear all that. So in a rematch, any close round might go to Bivol.
But Garcia wasn't the only one with strong views going into this matchup. David Benavidez didn't hold back when talking about Bivol's chances in the rematch. Echoing Robert Garcia's concerns, Benavidez took it a step further, calling the first fight a flat-out robbery. In his eyes, Bivol had already done enough to win once, and if the rematch played out the same way, there'd be no excuse for another injustice.
If Bivol, if it's the same exact fight, I see Bivol winning, but unless they rob it again, there's really nothing you could do.
Benavidez made it clear, if the judges got it wrong again, it wouldn't be Bivol's fault. But not every pro saw it that way. While some fighters backed Bivol, Teofimo Lopez saw things differently. He predicted Beterbiev would repeat his success despite personally rooting for Bivol. For Lopez, it wasn't about favoritism, it was about who he believed had the edge in the ring.
Who you got February 22nd, Bivol or Beterbiev? I think same outcome, Beterbiev. But rooting for Bivol. Hopefully he does better than the first time. That's for sure.
But even with the boxing world split, the rematch brought answers, just not the ones everyone expected. Sergey Kovalev didn't just back Bivol, he was already thinking trilogy. Believing Bivol had edged the first fight 7-5, Kovalev predicted that with more confidence in the rematch, Bivol would secure a clear victory and set the stage for an epic third fight.
I think so. Last fight, Bivol got 7 rounds against 5.
So you thought he won?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he is 7-5. He won, and he will be more confidence for a rematch, and will get a victory. Yeah, we'll get a win, and then will be the third fight. It's a great trilogy coming up.
But after the rematch, fans weren't debating trilogies. They were still processing what had just happened. Keyshawn Davis offered a more technical breakdown, siding with Bivol but recognizing the complexity of the matchup. He felt Bivol had already done enough to win the first fight and believed he'd come into the rematch with smarter adjustments to make his victory undeniable. While he acknowledged Beterbiev's relentless pressure, Davis emphasized that Bivol's ability to switch up his game plan could be the key to sealing the win this time around.
I mean, I thought Bivol won the first one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, I think for sure, and I think Beterbiev he gonna do the same thing that he did last fight. You know, he's a pressure fighter, and he's smart though. So he probably, I can't just say that, he probably do something differently. But you know, when you're a boxer, you can literally just switch it up. Like, I'm gonna box you like this time. You know what I'm saying? I don't see no pressure fighter. I'd be like, I'm gonna pressure you like this time. No, pressure is pressure. You feel me? So I just feel like Bivol just gonna switch his game plan up a little bit, and he's just gonna make it more clear that he won the second time.
With fighters split between Bivol's strategy and Beterbiev's brute force, the rematch had all the makings of a classic. But once the final bell rang, opinions quickly shifted. Jose Benavidez Jr. backed Bivol, but stayed neutral in his respect for both fighters. He believed Bivol had done enough to win the first fight, but admitted it could have gone either way. Still, his support leaned toward Bivol, expecting him to come in with a fresh game plan for the rematch. Benavidez also anticipated Beterbiev making his own adjustments, setting the stage for an even more intense showdown.
That was a good fight. I feel like Bivol, yeah. I thought Bivol did enough to win the first fight. But if you're anyway, like I said, they're both great fighters. It'll be a great fight. I'm going for Bivol, though. Can't even say because, I'm pretty sure they're going to come with different game plans because Bivol, he's a boxer, but I feel like Bivol's going to try to fight different too, not like the first time. So you have to wait and see. It's going to be an amazing fight. The first one was.
With both camps promising changes, the hype was undeniable, but the result left the boxing world buzzing for all the right or wrong reasons. Jose Benavidez Sr. didn't shy away from calling the first fight for Bivol, though he admitted it was razor close. In his eyes, Bivol's higher punch volume gave him a slight edge, even if Beterbiev's power shots stole the spotlight. But what really stood out to Benavidez Sr. was Beterbiev's approach, claiming he looked too focused on landing a single big shot, which left openings Bivol capitalized on. Heading into the rematch, he believed Bivol's youth, energy, and conditioning would give him the stamina to dominate all 12 rounds.
Man, the first fight was a great fight, it was very exciting. I believe in my mind that Bivol won that fight by a little bit, not by a lot. It was a very close fight. But I think he did throw the more combination better, but this is the first time I see him maybe looking for one shot. But it was exciting. It was a great fight. I believe that this other fight, I think Bivol will win the fight. In my opinion, I think it was it's very hard. It's going to be a tough fight. but I see Bivol with a little bit more energy, a little bit more younger, you know, and I think he has that condition to go the 12th round.
But as the final result rolled in, fans were quick to debate if Benavidez Sr. was right, or if Beterbiev's raw power once again proved too much. Boozy Ennis kept it straightforward. He saw Bivol as the rightful winner. While he acknowledged Beterbiev's late surge in the first fight, Ennis believed Bivol had done enough early on to secure the victory, even if fatigue caught up with him in the later rounds. For Ennis, it wasn't about who finished stronger. It was about who controlled most of the fight.
Who did you have winning?
I had Bivol winning. You know what I mean? Whichcomb came on at the end. You know what I mean? Because Bivol, slowed down. He slowed down. So, but I had Bivol winning.
But with opinions this divided, the rematch wasn't just about winning, it was about silencing all doubt. Boozy Ennis didn't just reflect on the first fight, he saw the rematch playing out differently. Pointing to Bivol's fatigue in the final rounds last time, Ennis predicted that Bivol would come in better prepared this time around, fixing the mistakes that nearly cost him the fight. In his eyes, if Bivol could maintain his stamina, the outcome would be clearer.
Oh, I think they should rematch. And I think it's going to be a different situation this time. Because it seemed like he got winded at the last 2 rounds.
But as the rematch unfolded, it proved that in boxing, strategy is one thing, executing it is another. Even Canelo Alvarez, who once faced Bivol himself, weighed in on the rematch, but he kept it neutral. While he didn't pick a side, Canelo made it clear that the clash between Bivol's technical skill and Beterbiev's raw power would make for another must-see battle. His respect for both fighters was evident, hinting at just how evenly matched this rivalry was.
And just one more from me, Beterbiev-Bivol, the rematch. What a great fight that is in Saudi. How do you see that playing out, Saudi?
It's going to be a really good fight again. Both are great fighters
But when the dust settled, even Canelo's neutral stance couldn't shield the boxing world from the heated debates that followed. Artur Beterbiev's coach Mark Ramsey didn't hold back when sizing up Dmitry Bivol ahead of the rematch. While many praised Bivol's slick footwork and technical skills, Ramsey dismissed it as nothing extraordinary. To him, Bivol's lateral movement and in-and-out tactics were predictable and far from enough to keep Beterbiev at bay.
The only thing I think he was way better on lateral movement. Like we all know that he have that in-and-out movement, but he showed that he was able to be also very good with lateral movement. But outside of that, nothing special now.
But Ramsey didn't stop there. He sent a clear warning. He made it known that their game plan wasn't built around Bivol's movements, but focused on Beterbiev's strengths. And in his eyes, Bivol couldn't avoid the fight forever.
We really focus on her team, what we can bring to that fight, and we know that if we perform good, we're gonna win that fight. But it's just for Bivol, I don't know. He's a real good fighter, but at one point, if you want to win a fight, you cannot just escape and run away. You need to fight, and if he's willing to take that risk, we'll see the result.
It was more than just strategy, it was a psychological play. Ramsey was calling out Bivol, daring him to stand his ground. The message was simple. Running wouldn't save him this time. Teddy Atlas, known for his deep fight analysis, offered a layered prediction for Beterbiev versus Bivol, highlighting the mental toughness often overlooked in traditional breakdowns. While many focus on Beterbiev's raw power and relentless pressure, Atlas emphasized that Bivol's mental fortitude is just as crucial, a factor that allowed him to survive and excel in the first fight.
Well, as far as the knockout, both these guys, they're so tough mentally. I mean, that's the thing where people really came up short, I think, in a lot of ways when they were looking at kind of breaking this fight down the first time. Everyone knew how aggressive and how strong and what a puncher Beterbiev is, and how just relentless he is. But I don't think because of the style of Bivol, they realized how strong mentally Bivol also is. He is.
But Atlas didn't rule out chaos. He acknowledged that while the fight could easily go the distance due to both fighters' resilience, there's always the lurking threat of an unexpected ending. Beterbiev's age, battle scars, and history of cuts could turn the tide, not through a classic knockout, but via a doctor's stoppage or a well-timed barrage from Bivol.
You never know with guys that, one guy who's that kind of power puncher, the other guy who's that accurate and a good combination puncher. And don't forget, Beterbiev is getting up there a little bit in age, and he's been in a lot of tough fights. He's been cut. You never know if scar tissue could be opened up, and it doesn't have to be a a traditional knockout where a guy goes down. It could be a stoppage, you know, because of cuts or stuff like that. So it's never completely out of the possibility.
Atlas painted the fight as a mental and physical chess match, where durability and strategy might be just as decisive as power punches. When the final bell rang, it wasn't just about who landed more punches, it was about who broke the other's will. Fans, fighters, and experts lit up social media, torn between calling it a masterclass or a war of attrition. Some saw Bivol's precision as the difference maker, while others argued Beterbiev's relentless pressure was impossible to ignore. But the real debate? What's next? Will a trilogy settle the score once and for all? Or did this fight close the chapter on one of boxing's most talked about rivalries? One thing's certain, this wasn't just another fight, it was a reminder of why the sport still has the power to shock, divide, and ignite the boxing world.